Hey,
Hey, hey, hey, gang, with a big muscle, with a golden belt, yes. Welcome everybody to another edition of Talk Sports with Elder on Man United Elder TV. Today we are going to be having exciting things to talk about. So, guys, I wait for you so you can join me on this one. It's going to be really exciting. Yes, exciting talk topics to be, Manchester United will be playing against Newcastle today. I'm going to be giving you some of the injury news, and we are going to be talking about some of the hopeful prospect, what Manchester United board will be doing recently, who Manchester United board is talking to, the movements we are doing underground, everything is going to be discussed right here on this channel. So everyone who's joined, I want to say big welcome to you and thank you for joining. Yes, today we have a very big one coming. Manchester United versus Newcastle United. That is going to be a massive game for Manchester United. We've seen the likes of Liverpool drop points yesterday. Yes, we know that Liverpool was the team, in fourth position, hoping to get closer to Manchester United. But at the end of the day, they dropped points against Wolverhampton Wanderers. That was quite a shame, yeah? Yes, quite a shame. And I said something to Manchester United fans. I say, let us laugh at Liverpool. Let us laugh at them because Liverpool, if not then get the chance, they will laugh at us. Yes, they will not even wait for Manchester United to drop points. They will not even wait for them to play or not. They are going to laugh at us. So, or if we got the opportunity to actually banter Liverpool, we should be taking our opportunities. Yes, it is a very interesting game coming up this evening. Yes, 9:15 African time, and it is Manchester United that versus Newcastle at the St. James Park. Yes, beautiful game of football that Manchester United will be expecting. Manchester United fans are actually a bit scared about this one, because we've not actually had it very good with Newcastle in recent times. Yes, there's been 6 games played between Manchester United and Newcastle in recent times, and Manchester United have only won 2 of those games, while Newcastle United have run away victors of those encounters in 4. Yes, and that is actually something that has made a lot of Manchester United fans skeptical, scared, worry, and feeling like this actual game is going to be a tricky one for Manchester United. But then I am here to tell you to Pongpi, to Farabale, to Konkoye, to calm down, Yes, calm down, because this is a game. Games are not won on records. Games are not won on history. All of those things are going to bring you nostalgia. But games are won on current form. Games are won on the field of play. Games are won with the momentum that a team has. And Manchester United with Newcastle, Manchester United got the momentum. Manchester United got all of what it takes right now to go at the St. James Park and get a win. Listen up. Let me give you some rundowns. Like I said, in 6 encounters between Manchester United and Newcastle in recent times, Newcastle have 4 wins, and Manchester United can only make do with 2. But then let us look at the current form. Newcastle's current form. Listen, Newcastle in their last 5 games have only won 1, and they've lost the remainder 4. While Manchester United in our last 5 games, Manchester United have won 4 and draw only 1. So Manchester United in our last 5 games, we are unbeaten. As a matter of fact, Manchester United looks like a team that is unbeaten in the last 12 games, and that gives the team the momentum, that gives the team the confidence, and that gives the team the boost, going into this game. Newcastle will be a team that will be under pressure to perform. They have lost points. They have lost a lot of points. As a matter of fact, they've only picked 3 points out of recent 15. That is actually abysmal, really, really abysmal. Newcastle is that team also without their front man. Yes, without they've lost they lost Isak to Liverpool last season. Now also Nick Watermadi, who is actually their main striker this season, is out there injured. Also, they are not with their captain. Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes is also out injured, and one of their most prolific, most dependable defenders, Fabian Schär, is not going to be available against Manchester United, and that gives Manchester United all of the advantage that it needs. Yes, players that are going to be available for Newcastle include Anthony Gordons. Yes, they have Sandro Tonelli, they have Joel Linton, they have Anthony Elanga, they have other players who are actually quite good, but then not better than Manchester United players. So on our own account, all of our players actually look really good. But then one interesting thing that has happened in recent time is that we know that Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were both removed out of the game, the Crystal Palace game. Yes, due to them not feeling well. The coach actually confirmed it, that the players were not feeling well, they were not feeling comfortable, and so they had to be withdrawn from the Crystal Palace game. And we are looking at getting them back against Newcastle. These players, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, have been very instrumental to Manchester United upturn recently under Michael Carrick. Harry Maguire have actually made a really big U-turn, and has amassed himself loads of credit, for as a Manchester United player in recent times. He's looked actually very solid. Yes, Harry Maguire, he's looked really, really solid for Manchester United going forward in the defensive area, and I think that he has given Manchester United a lot actually to believe on. So we are going to be hoping that Harry Maguire comes back, to take up his right spot. Yes, the last time we saw Harry Maguire partner with Lenny Yoro, while Harry Maguire was withdrawn, we saw the I think the introduction of Aiden Heaven, right? Yes, Aiden Heaven, and I think for me, Aiden Heaven have shown a lot more solidity than Lenny Yoro, because bringing Lenny Yoro into the game earlier on, we saw Lenny Yoro being very jittery. Yes, he was not confident in that defensive setup against Crystal Palace. He was not confident, and he looked like a player who could actually give away goals because his passes were not accurate. Yes, his passes were not accurate. He didn't look very convincing to me. In as much as that after the mistake that led to the goal, I felt like he picked up himself properly and then he went right into it. But then again, I think that Harry Maguire is I think that Harry Maguire being in that place, also Lisandro Martinez coming back is going to be very instrumental for Manchester United in that in the back four. Also, we hope that Luke Shaw will be making it back. We saw Luke Shaw withdrawn, and Nunes Mazraoui came in on behalf of him. And one thing we noticed was that Nunes Mazraoui did not disappoint. In that game, Nunes Mazraoui put in his best, and it was something that a lot of Manchester United fans really applauded. Nunes Mazraoui was on top of his game. He spearheaded the attack as well as gave us defensive solidity, defensive discipline, and he covered his area so very well. So that is it. A lot of fans actually feel like, okay, if we do not get Luke Shaw back, then probably we might just make do with Nunes Mazraoui in that position. For me, I think that Luke Shaw actually is class. Luke Shaw is class. He's been doing really well for Manchester United. His confidence have risen again, and he's putting in the work. And I think that we should actually give hope that he comes back into the fray and give Manchester United that which he has always given to Manchester United, because a situation where we see Diogo Dalu not give what we want, we might actually look at switching. We might actually look at switching to Nus Masraoui. So for me, we are hoping that all of these players actually come back from injury. Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, we are looking at them coming back today. It's going to be an exciting evening tonight, yes, with Manchester United slugging it out against Crystal Palace. Also, let us go through some of the things that Gaffer had to say in his press conference. Yes, one of the most important things that the Gaffer actually had to say in his press conference was, this question was thrown to the Gaffer. I thought it was very, very important that we actually had this discussion with Michael Carrick. A lot of fans do not want Michael Carrick to get the job because we've seen something similar that Michael Carrick is doing with Manchester United right now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United did very well in the beginning of the season, or with the beginning, in the beginning with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they did very well. They were putting in all of it, playing fantastically well. But then later on in the end of the towards the tail end of the season, Manchester United, they vanquished everything that we knew Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has started going down the drain. Manchester United became a team that will struggle to score goals, struggle to create chances, struggle to break down low blocks and all of that. And that actually led to the doom, or led to the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his backroom staff. And remember, Michael Carrick was part of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's backroom staff in that time. Yes, and then going forward, Michael Carrick took over Middlesbrough, and we saw him in the beginning of the season. Middlesbrough did very well. They played exciting football. They were giving it back to back in the championship, and when push came to shove, when it all mattered most, Middlesbrough, the results started diminishing until it vanished, and Middlesbrough had to let Michael Carrick go. But right now, yes, what will be the case if Michael Carrick have put in a very good shout to get the job on permanent basis? What will be the case? This is what the pundit has been asking. What we saw Michael Carrick do at Middlesbrough and Michael Carrick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do at Manchester United. A lot of people will say, do not give Michael Carrick the job. But then that question was that period where you need to go and intensify yourself to get results. And Michael Carrick said this clearly. Football is a tough game, right? To get results from football is actually very, very tough. But what will happen is that all of these situations have provided Michael Carrick an opportunity to learn. Sometimes you sit back and look at all of the things that you did, and then maybe you realize your mistakes, and then maybe feel like you could have done differently or done it a lot more better. So Everett has said then, in context of what he tends to, how the team plays in the beginning and how the team plays in the end. He said in that there is a lot of context. It has to do with the players available to you. And one of those things that we are going to take into consideration is that at Middlesbrough, they sold a lot of their key players. Yes, expecting Michael Carrick to actually perform a miracle. And that is one thing Michael Carrick has pointed out, that he has it. In context of that, you have to talk about the players you have at your disposal. Also, you have to look at other parameters, that influence the decisions at the end of the season. Yes, and then if there is anything at all that he has to do as a Manchester United manager to make sure that these results continue to come, he has to live in the moment. He has to stay grounded, be humble enough to understand why he is winning games. If he can, and what he probably is doing wrongly, then that will be an opportunity for him, Michael Carrick, to get a lot more, a better result. Also, Michael Carrick stated that one more thing that is very important is that he is not getting carried away. Yes, he is not getting carried away. He's going to feed off the confidence of all of the results that are getting now. He's going to feed off the confidence. He's going to make sure that a lot of that all of the results they are getting now does not get him carried away. He's going to feed off the confidence, and he would understand it that wins are hard to come by. So for him to understand and keep at it, we have to, in light of the question that was thrown to him about Manchester United, about Michael Carrick under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Michael Carrick have given, I think that in that light, he has cleared the doubt of the fans when it comes to, doing very well at the start of the job. And then when you get the job on permanent basis, you begin to, misbehave and all of that. So, but then Michael Carrick have stated clearly that there are a lot of factors surrounding it, and most of the times it has to do with the ambition of the club. It has to do with the ambition of the manager, also the ambition of the players, and then the type of players you have in that moment and in that position. So all of these things are actually very at giving Michael Carrick the job on permanent basis. So if we are actually going to be taking ourselves through the game between Newcastle. We, like I said in the past year, Manchester United is that team that have not gotten a lot of win out of Newcastle United, and a lot of Manchester United fans are jittery with all of with the current, not. I want to say, I will say to Manchester United fans is that you need to calm down. It is not record that win games, right? No, record do not win games. So we need to calm down with all of that. Yes, all of the things that we are seeing with Manchester United. Yes, we need to actually calm down. Yes, we need to calm down. The game against Crystal Palace will be coming pretty soon, and we will be knowing what is obtainable. What is obtainable in that game. We know that Crystal Palace is without the garage. We know that that is confirmed. They are without their captain, and also they are without of Fabian Schär, and also they are without their main striker Nick Watermade. So these players are out for Crystal Palace, and then it is very important that it is very important that we know this, right? So going forward, we have to talk about other parts of the games. We also want to give you some very vital news that is coming out from the Manchester United camp. Yeah, there are lots of news coming out from the Manchester United camp, and I'm going to be sharing it one after the other. First one is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno All right. I believe that we just had a little bit of break in transmission. I'm sorry guys for the break in transmission. Yeah. The news was that Bruno Fernandes is open to having discussions with Manchester United as soon as possible. The Manchester United hierarchy will be looking at, getting Bruno Fernandes to sign pen to paper on a new contract, exceeding 2028. This is the news that's been going out there. Yes. Also, Manchester United will be looking at, talking to a lot of players, a lot of different players at the end of the season, players who will be coming in to replace Casemiro. Yes. But to do those details, purely we want to talk about some of the things, that we might be seeing in the new game. First of all, let us talk about the midfield duo of Sandro Tonelli, Anthony Gordon, and Joel Linton. These players are actually the midfield partnership for Newcastle that has actually not been playing well. And we know that they are a very physical side. We know that this Newcastle team can give any team a problem, any team at all a problem. But right now, this partnership and up front there, having Anthony Elanga up there and on Murphy. We know that they have Murphy. We know that they have Antonio Elanga. We know they have a couple of players who are actually quite decent. But then Harvey Barnes and all of that, all of these players actually can give Manchester United problem, but they've not been firing. They've not been shooting. In the reverse fixture of the game, Manchester United actually beat Crystal Palace 1-0 in that game, and we saw Manchester United dominate larger portions of the game I think that was under Ruben Amorim. So for me, I think that the game against Crystal Palace, the game against Newcastle, Manchester United is going to actually do a lot of good because Bruno Fernandes is a captain that has actually the most goals and assists in the Premier League. His goal contribution actually supersedes that of every other person except Erling Haaland. And we have players who are actually performing very well for Manchester United. We have Brian Mbeumo, we have Matheus Cunha, also we have Benjamin Sesko, who seemed to have found his feet in the Premier League and has scored, I think, four consecutive games, right? Yes, he scored against Tottenham, scored against West Ham, scored against Everton, and he scored against Crystal Palace. So that is 4 consecutive. That is 4 in 4 for Benjamin Sesko. So it looks like this guy has actually found his feet in the Premier League, and that is an absolute mad addition to Manchester United, with the likes of Brian Mbeumo, with the likes of Amad Diallo, likes of Matheus Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, and Manchester United looks like a team that actually is ready to even mount a title challenge if Arsenal or Manchester City goes ahead to drop any form of point. Manchester United looks like a team that can go ahead to mount a title challenge. All right, let us bring you also the news that has been circulating. Casemiro, the Manchester United midfielder, has actually advised the Manchester United board to buy or look into the possibilities of getting Bruno Guimaraes to Manchester United. Yes, Bruno Guimaraes, who is the current captain of Newcastle United, has been rumored to be favored by Casemiro, his national teammate. He has actually informed Manchester United that yes, he would actually sanction such a move, because I think that Bruno Guimaraes is the right kind of player with the right kind of profile to come to Manchester United and excel. Yes, Manchester United will be looking at bringing Bruno Guimaraes into the fray, because at Newcastle he's shown that he has the Premier League experience. Also, he has shown that he has the Champions League experience. So all of he has shown that he has the experience as a footballer, and with the right profile to come and play for Manchester United. He's shown all of that. So for me, I think that would be Bruno Guimaraes will be a great addition to Manchester United. Yes, Bruno Guimaraes will be a really, really good addition to Manchester United, because if we look at him in recent times, he's been part of the team that has given Manchester United a lot of problems. Yes, he's been really, really strong. He's been really, really focal in that Newcastle midfield. He's actually very, very strong. He picks out his passes very well. He puts in the defensive work as well as the offensive masterclass. So I think that in as much as we are not going to get everything from one player to replace Casemiro, but I think that Bruno Guimaraes is one player that I think is exceptional, will be exceptional, an exceptional signing for Manchester United. Imagine a midfield of Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonelli, and maybe Bruno Fernandes. Imagine a midfield like that. Imagine such a midfield. Imagine a midfield that comprises of Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonelli, and Bruno Fernandes. Maybe a midfield of Bruno, that would be a massive, massive midfield for Manchester United. So the news is that Manchester United actually is keen on getting in Bruno Guimaraes to come to Manchester United. We hear nothing is confirmed, but the rumors are saying that Manchester United have opened talks with the camp of Bruno Guimaraes going into the summer 2026. Yes, Manchester United. We know one thing about Christopher Vivel and Omar Berrada and then Jason Wilcox. We know one thing about them. They are not people who rush into signing players. They make sure that they get out a little bit of information, knowing that you want to play for Manchester United. If you look at the template at which they have gone with, it has actually made them be able to get in players who are ready to play for Manchester United. Look at what Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo are doing for Manchester United. You can understand why it was the players actually said that the board actually wanted players who were ready to play for Manchester United, right? Like before Manchester United will start going in for you, discussing prices, discussing salaries and all of that, you must have indicated interest that you want to play for the club. So the club have to assure you that, you know what, we are going to do a deal for you. So you have to actually show that interest. And this is something they would also want Bruno Guimaraes to show that interest that you want to come play for Manchester United. Bruno has all what it takes. You know, he has the experience in the Premier League, and he also have the experience in the Champions League. So that gives him an edge, over Baleba. That gives him an edge over over Elliot Anderson, over Adam Wharton. That gives him the edge, and that this is the right profile, to bring into the club. Also, Manchester United is hoping that, if possible, they can make a double swoop for the midfield duo for Newcastle United, which will be Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonelli. They will be looking at getting these players into the Manchester United fray at any cost. Sandro Tonelli and Bruno Guimaraes, these two players actually will be very instrumental to Manchester United if Manchester United can do the deal. So for me, it is going to be really, really, really interesting matchup. Also, I'm going to give you the news on injuries. Yes, first of all, Manchester United will not have Lisandro Martinez back before the game at St. James Park, and that is because his injury has been prolonged, and we are hoping that he can return maybe in the game against Aston Villa. Maybe he can return in that game. Also, we hear that Dogu is making progress. Hopefully, we might just see him. We hear that what's his name? Mason Mount is walking on the grass now, and hopefully he will start training with Manchester United, and maybe we might just see him in match day squad. So this is it. This is all of what we have for you right now on the preview of the Newcastle versus Manchester United match. Yes, if we are going to get a recap of all that has been said previously, I want to use opportunity to say thank you to all of you who have tuned in to stay glued, for the next 30 minutes of this talk show. So let us go on the recap. The recap is that one, Manchester United will be playing Crystal Palace this evening, and Manchester United is the team with the momentum to actually win the game. So you can also put in your score predictions, and put in who you think. And I think that a lot of Manchester United fans are jittery over this one, but I need to remind you that Manchester United have done a league double over Crystal Palace, one of the most informed teams earlier on this season, and one of the most physical sides in the Premier League. Manchester United have been able to do a league double over them. So I think that with that should give Manchester United fans the confidence going into this game. Also, we did not play really well against Everton, but somehow Manchester United was able to get a win over Everton, right? And against Crystal Palace, we did not start the first half very well. In as much as we went down one goal against Crystal Palace, Manchester United was able to come back in that game 2-1 to win the game. So I don't see any reason why any Manchester United fan should be jittery over the game against Newcastle. We are supposed to actually have that in mind, that it is very, very possible that Manchester United can go to St. James Park and get a win. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined this live. Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button. It is all about Manchester United, not Manchester United, on this fan channel. Every day I say this for a lot of us. If you're joining this broadcast just now, we've discussed a lot of things, so you can click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button. It is always about Manchester United. Yes, and Manchester United going into this game against Newcastle United, we have the momentum. We have won 4 out of 5. Newcastle United have just 1 win in 5. Newcastle United is the team that is low in confidence. Newcastle United will be the team without that momentum, going into this game. The only thing that would work in favor of Newcastle will be the Newcastle fans. But aside from the Newcastle fans, we know that they are missing the services of some of their best players, Nick Watermaid, Fabian Schär, and also Captain Bruno Guimaraes. All of these players will be absent for Newcastle United. While for Manchester United, we will be seeing players like Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw return in our defense line, and that is actually a very big boost for Manchester United, knowing that these partners have actually played games together and that they look very solid, against opposition. And also we hear that we might just be welcoming back Lisandro Martinez in the next week. Also, we hear that Mason Mount actually is working out on the grass and might just be back. So going into the Newcastle game, we have to be we actually beat Crystal Palace home and away, and we can just do the double over Newcastle United, knowing that we have actually beaten them 1-0 at Old Trafford, and traveling to St. James Park with the form that they are in now. Manchester United can get a win over Newcastle United at St. James Park. So we are not so riddled with injury, even if we have Matthias de Ligt, whom we don't know when he's going to be back. Also, we have Patrick Dogu, whom is working hard to also be back. We have Mason Mount who is walking on the grass. We have Lisandro Martinez, who might be back really soon. And then we have Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, who we are expecting back in this game. So everything looks good for Manchester United. Michael Carrick is in good spirit. He has said it in his previous press conference. He's not letting himself get carried away. The players are not letting themselves get carried away. Everyone is focused. The spirit is good. The spirit is high in the Manchester United dressing room. Everyone is together. The boys knows what is at stake. The boys knows that they can actually, this is an opportunity for them to go 6 points off Liverpool in that third place and actually get themselves about 3 points off Aston Villa. Everything is looking really, really good for Manchester United in this moment and in this time. And if I am going to go by anything, this is a moment where Manchester United have to enjoy the ride. We have to enjoy the momentum. We have to flow with it. We did not believe that Michael Carrick will come in and do this type of job. And this is not the time to jinx it. I don't want any Manchester United fan. I don't want any Manchester United fan feeling like, oh, this is a tricky game. We might just go there and get a loss. No, we are not going to get a loss. I don't believe that we are going to get a loss today. Everything looks like it is going to work out in the favor of Manchester United. Everything looks, and up until this time, we always knew that we had the quality in the team to actually compete for top four. We always knew, it was not working out with Ruben Amorim. It was not working out in the training ground, but we always knew that with the quality of players we had, we actually would have been able to get a top four football. So with Michael Carrick coming in and doing the basics, getting the players to go back to their natural habitats, their natural position, and actually put in, the work and the discipline, they've had. Look at the likes of Ahmad, look at the likes of Cunha tracking back, to make sure that they get defensive with Manchester United and also attacking wise. So if we look at it, you are going to agree with me that we have all the qualities. Now to a very, very important part of this segment, where we talk about the players who might just be coming on for Manchester United today. What do you think in the comment section? I would want to have your comments in the comment section. You can send in a super chat. You can send in a super sticker. You can send in your messages. Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button. You can also share this live, share the live to get to a lot more people. Let us talk about the potential starting lineup for Manchester United. Who do you think will be starting for Manchester United in this game against Crystal Palace? The question is, do you think that Michael Carrick will stick with his winning 11, or maybe he would revert to his old winning 11? Because as it is now, Michael Carrick can say that he has 2 winning 11. Yes, one of the winning 11 does not have Benjamin Sesko in it, and the other winning 11 has Benjamin Sesko in it. Do you think that Benjamin Sesko will be starting his second game in a row for Manchester United, or Michael Carrick will be letting him know that, oh boy, you got your goal in the last game in the second half, so you have to be on the bench. In the second half, I'll be bringing you in. Is Manchester United going to make use of the wings? Are we going to choose to go with the wings where Ahmad and Mbeumo can thrive? We know that Matheus Cunha loves to play centrally. We know that so many of the times we might see Mbeumo drive centrally, but then again, if you can keep our discipline in the wide, make the field a lot wider for players, and then use the head of Benjamin Sesko. We know that Benjamin Sesko can score with his feet. He can score in the counter. He can score with his head. He has shown himself to be able to score in every circumstances surrounding him. Yes, he can score the headers. He can score with his feet. He can score shots. He can score tap-ins. He's done everything. He scored every type of goal for Manchester United. So Is this the right time to actually sit a player on the bench and decide to go regular with the regular number 9 that Manchester United have? So tell me your give me your ideas, tell me your opinions in the comment section. I'll be here. I want to get your opinions in the comment section. Thank you to everyone who's joining. Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button. Every time we drop a video, you are going to get it. But we are right now discussing which players do you think will be starting the game for Manchester United against Crystal Palace. Which players do you think? Yes, you can send in super chats. You can send in, yes, you can send your message in a super chat. You know, your message gets to attend to immediately. You can send super stickers to support the fan channel. Then you can also join the fan channel. You can send, click subscribe to the channel and all of that. So let me start with saying that Manchester United, I know, will be going with Sonny Lamens in goal. Yes, I think that we will remain with Sonny Lamens in goal, and also will be. I know that the fullbacks will have to be Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw is available, it will be Luke Shaw. But a situation where Luke Shaw will not be there, will be Sui Nons Mazraoui, and then the fullbacks will be either Luke Shaw or Nons Mazraoui. That is if Luke Shaw is not injured. As long as he's not injured, Luke Shaw will be the favorite to play in that position. And in the right side of the fullback position will be Diogo Dalot, and the centre backs will have to be Harry Maguire and Leny Yoro. That is in situations where Harry Maguire is not injured, or we'll be seeing this Aiden Heaven and Leny Yoro in the back. But I hope that Harry Maguire will be back in time. Yes, and then let us look at the wing position. I think that we'll be seeing in the wing, we'll be seeing Matheus Cunha on the left side of the wing, and we'll be seeing we'll see Matheus Cunha on the left side of the wing, and we'll see Amad Diallo on the right side of the wing. That is what we'll be seeing. And then going forward, we might be seeing Brian Mbeumo on the right side of the wing, and Matheus Cunha on the left side of the wing. In the middle of the park, I think that he will still go with Casemiro and Kobe Mainu in the middle of the park. And then up front, the striking position, I think that we are going to still be seeing Benjamin Sesko. I think that he will still be starting with Benjamin Sesko, and then Bruno Fernandes will take up the number 10 position. I think that Ahmad will be coming from the bench. That is what I think. Yeah, that is the starting 11 for me. The fullbacks will be Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot. That is if Luke Shaw is injury free. Then we'll be seeing in the center back position, we'll be seeing Leny Yoro and Harry Maguire. That is if Harry Maguire is not injured. We'll be seeing Leny Yoro and Harry Maguire. And then the fullback, I've talked about the fullbacks. Then in the center circle, where in the midfield, central midfield area, we'll be seeing Casemiro and Kobe Mainu. Then Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 position. Brian Mbeumo in the right side of the wing, and then we will see Matheus Cunha on the left side of the wing, and then we are going to be seeing Benjamin Sesko start as the number 9 for Manchester United. And like I said, we'll be seeing the likes of Aiden Heaven, we'll be seeing the likes of Amad Diallo coming from the bench. This is actually how I see. I think that knowing that Newcastle have some really top players, Manchester United manager Michael Carrick will be going for physical players, and we know that Benjamin Sesko can also be physical on its day. Also, we know that Matheus Cunha can actually be physical on his day. He will be having the ability, to shake off players and, run with the ball. Also, we know that with Brian Mbeumo, he can actually be that strong player who can outpossess, outmuscle players and run with it. This is, for me, this is practical. But then in that middle of the park, where we are going to be seeing Anthony Gordons, we are going to be seeing Sandro Tonelli and then maybe Joel Linton. I think that Bruno Fernandes will have to be a free man playing free role, and many of the times Bruno Fernandes will be switching between him and Matheus Cunha. We know that Matheus Cunha loves to go central most of the time. So we will be seeing a lot of Bruno Fernandes going to the side and Matheus Cunha drifting into the middle. We are going to be witnessing some of that. And then we are going to also be seeing Bruno Fernandes go to the side and Brian Mbeumo come to the middle. We are going to be witnessing most of this. Yes, there will be rotations always in the Manchester United attacking system. Yes, there will be rotations. But then with Manchester United choosing to go with Benjamin Sesko as the number 9, we are not going to be seeing the number 9 rotate, unlike the time that maybe he will be using Brian Mbeumo as the number 9. Many of the times when he used Brian Mbeumo as the number 9, what we see is that Brian Mbeumo most of the times move to the right, while we see Matheus Cunha come to the middle. Remember the goal against, remember the penalty against Crystal Palace. Matheus Cunha was literally in the middle, right, with Nus Mazraoui by the wing. Matheus Cunha came into the middle, seeing Bruno Fernandes standing by the side. You see that, and that was where he had the opportunity to play in the pass into Matheus Cunha's path that made the defender drag him down. So when you look at it, there will be loads of movements in the Manchester United midfield, and that is all created to create confusion in the Crystal Palace midfield, and it will be the same thing with the Newcastle. We are not going to be having one player stay in one position. They are going to be rotating because they all have the ability to interswitch. And since they all have that ability to interswitch, it will be difficult for any player to pick up a particular player and go all the way with him, because that will mean that you will be picking out Manchester United will constantly be picking players out of position. So it is very important that we are going to be seeing all of this, and then Benjamin Sesko will be having a field day, because Manchester United, if he's going to start, Michael Carrick will be using him a lot more with all the long balls. He'll be using him a lot more with the long balls coming into his chest, and he will be playing in the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo and Bruno. So all of this will be very instrumental to Manchester United. So Manchester United under Michael Carrick have a game plan, and the game plan is simple. We have to move the ball as quick as possible. If we are on the attack, we have to move the ball, and we have to play the ball as fast. It is very, very important for Manchester United to move the ball as fast as possible, because the faster we move the ball, the more we don't give the opponent time to settle in. And once we don't give them time to settle in, we are going to see them, go out of shape. And it will help us, because since we are interjecting and interswitching, it will help us to play passes into line splitting, defense splitting passes. It will give us the ability to play defense splitting passes into those channels, and it will help Manchester United a lot with creating chances. We know that Bruno Fernandes is a player that actually can spot all of those openings. He's very good with spotting the openings, and he's very, very good at taking up opportunities. And then we are going to be seeing a lot of movement, and we are going to be seeing Manchester United players run into loads of channels. We do not have players that are going to peg Manchester United back when it comes, but then Manchester United with Casemiro and Kobe Mainu will make sure that we look for a way to shut down the midfield. Yes, because of the defensive orientation of the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha and Bruno Fernandes. Whenever Manchester United is not with the ball, we tend to drop deep. Yes, because of their defensive orientation, we will tend to drop deep. And the likes of Harvey Barnes, the likes of Anthony Gordon, the likes of Jacob Murphy, all of them will want to, use Manchester United offensive power against us. They might decide to go long, looking at getting the balls, in those channels. We know how Newcastle United play. They are very aggressive. They will be looking at shaking you off the ball. They will be looking at putting in very, very difficult tackles in the way, and so that Manchester United will not feel very comfortable to play their game. This is what Newcastle will come out to do. They are going to be making sure that they want to disrupt everything that Manchester United tries to do. But then, if we have the ability to move the ball as fast as possible, if we have the ability to shake the ball, Manchester United is going to actually do some really, really good work against Crystal Palace. It says, fly on the wall. Maguire 5 months jail. Maguire is appealing. Maguire right now is appealing the decision of the Greek court. Yeah, right now he's asked his representatives to actually appeal the decision of the Supreme Court. So that this information is no longer viable. So we'll take it off. So guys, you can send your questions, you can send in your questions, you can send your super chats, you can send super stickers, you are seeing my face for the first time, click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button. This is a Manchester United fan channel. It is all about Manchester United on this channel. So guys, we are going to be giving, we've actually exhausted every of the news that we have here, and I can do a recap if some people are just joining, or you can watch the video episode when it drops on the YouTube channel, Man United Elder TV. Please click on the subscribe button if you want to follow up this video as soon as it drops on Man United Elder TV. Click on the notification button, click on the subscribe button. It is all about Manchester United. Remember, I said Manchester United are actually right now, remember I said Manchester United are actually rumored to be in talks with Bruno Guimaraes. Yes, Manchester United are looking at talking to him, making the board, the Manchester United board, are actually contacting his representatives, and they are hoping that they can actually get to know the situation surrounding Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle United. Remember, one thing is actually very important. It is his release clause. His release clause is about £100 million. That is where Newcastle set his release clause, and that will we know that will pose some form of difficulties for Manchester United. But then this is a movement that Casemiro, his Brazilian counterpart, has actually endorsed, and he's actually advised Manchester United board to go for Bruno Guimaraes. And because we've seen him at Newcastle, we know what he offers Manchester United. This is a very, very disciplined player for Manchester United. So I think that it is one thing I feel like it is something that Manchester United board should be looking keenly into and hoping that we make this one happen. So for me, I think that it will be a good way to actually announce ourselves going into the summer transfer window. I think it will be a good way to announce ourselves, yes, going into the summer transfer window. For me, I think we should be looking at getting Bruno Guimaraes to Manchester United, because he's actually a fantastic player. Imagine the combination of Guimaraes and Sandro Tonelli, then Bruno Fernandes in the Manchester United in the Manchester United midfield. I want to use the opportunity to say, in the absence of no questions, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who's joined this live broadcast. Thank you so much to all of you who's subscribed to the fan channel. Thank you to everyone who sent in their comment. Thank you all to all of you. I appreciate you all. We will be doing this again next time after the game. I will see you once again. I want to say thank you so much to all of you, and have a good evening. I'll keep you posted on the proceedings of the game. Have a good evening, and bye-bye.